Hello everyone, it's me Sanjay Vasu back again for another video. This time I'm doing it on Cambridge Primary Sample Test for September 2020, Mathematics Paper 1 for Stage 5. You're not allowed to use a calculator, let's start. Question 1, complete the boxes. 500 times dash is 1500. So if you bring the 500 multiplied by to the other side, it'll become a divide by inverse operation. So the answer is going to be 3, which is 1500 by 500. Now 500 equals dash times 10. We can bring this to the other side to make it divide by 10 to make it 50 over here. Question 2. Here's a clock. 6:57:20 is given. Write the time it shows 5 minutes later. Now usually clocks are in hours, minutes, and seconds. So you can assume this is minutes, and 5 minutes later we just add 5 to the minutes column. But this becomes 62. And 62 is greater than 60, so we cannot have this in the minutes column. So we can write 02 and add the remaining 60 minutes to the hours, which adds 1 hour. So 07, 02, and the 20 remains the same, since it's exactly 5 minutes later. So 07, 02, 20. That's our answer. Question 3. Drawing around 4 numbers that have a total of 37.52. We can split this 37.52 into 30 plus 7 plus 0.5 plus 0.02 and find these 4 numbers in the table. 0.02, 0.5, 7, and 30. That's it. Question 4. This sequence decreases by the same amount each time. Write a number in each box to complete the sequence. We can see that every term we subtract 12 to get the next term. So this term is something minus 12 is 41. So add 12 to both sides. That means the term is going to be 41 plus 12, or in other words, inverse operations, 53. Now after 5, so 5 minus 12 is going to be the next term, and that's simply negative 7. Question 5. Tick all the reflex angles inside the shape. So reflex angles are angles that are greater than 180 degrees. Or in other words, if you have a line, this angle is 180 degrees. So the angle should go further than a line. So it should be something like this. This angle completely is greater than 180 and it's a reflex angle. So in this case, you have two angles that share this property. If you take any others, or if we do not remember any of these, it's wrong. Question 6. Look at this information. There are dash floors in a hotel. Each floor has dash rooms. There are dash rooms in use, and there are dash rooms not in use. Write these numbers in the boxes to complete the information. Well, obviously a hotel is not going to have 396, 132, 660 floors. Usually it's going to just have 8 floors. So you can write 8 floors in a hotel. Each floor has dash rooms. We can calculate this by using each of the 3 numbers and placing it here and doing trial and error to check if it's correct or not. So let's say it's 396 rooms. That means if we have 396 times 8 and we worked it out, we'll simply get 3,168. And 660 plus 132 is not equal to this answer. So these two have to add up to this, obviously. That's why I'm saying if you add these two, you don't get this. So 396 is not the right option. Next, we go to 132. In fact, this is the correct answer, but why? We can see 8 times 132 is going to be equal to 1056. And 660 plus 396 is equal to 1056. So they both match up. Therefore, we have it correct. And as for the other two, these two numbers, you can place them wherever you want. Either one is fine. You write 660 in use, 396 not in use, or you can swap it around, it's also fine. That's the answer. Question 7. Calculate and show your working. 207 times 27. We can do this by normal multiplication. So we have first 207 times 7. That will be 9 with the 4 carry. And then 0 times 7 is 0. With the 4 carry, we add 4. And then 2 times 7 is 14. Where we get a 9? Of course, 7 times 7 is 49. And 1449. And now we have 207 times 2. But then we also add a 0 here because we're multiplying by 20. Because this is in the tens place. So we add a 0, and then 7 times 2 is 14. That means 1 carry. And yeah, that's over here. So 0 times 2 is 0. We add 1 because of the carry. 2 times 2 is 4. So we add that. And now when we add these two together, we get 5, 5, 8, 9. That's our answer. Question 8. Take all the isosceles triangles. So for the first triangle, this is isosceles because we can see and even measure that these two sides are equal in length. And in isosceles triangle, any two sides have to be equal in length. So this is isosceles and I can tick it. Now for the second one, if we measure the three sides, we will not get any of them being equal in length. These are not equal, these are not equal, and these are not equal. In fact, if you went a bit further, you could see that this is actually a right angle triangle, not an isosceles triangle, since the sides have no same length. Now for the third one here, it is an equilateral triangle if we measure all three sides. Well, equilateral triangles have all three sides with the same length, and all three angles are the same, which are 60 degrees. Well, in an isosceles triangle, any two have to be the same length. Since the minimum criteria is two sides equal, therefore equilateral triangles can also be counted as isosceles triangles. Now for the fourth one, if we measure the sides of this triangle, these two will be equal. I'll mark it using triple tick marks, and yes, the isosceles triangle ones I'll mark with double tick marks since they're different from this. So these two sides are equal, and therefore this is an isosceles triangle, since isosceles triangles need to have at least two sides the same length. Now for this triangle, if you measure all three side lengths, there are no equal sides. Therefore this is not isosceles, we don't need to take that. That's our answer. Let's go to question 9. Point A, B, and C are on a straight line. Draw a ring around the correct coordinates for B. So if there's a straight line that passes through 3, 7 and 7, 3, that means it'll go from 3, 7 to 4, 6, 5, 5, and then B is going to be 6, 4 before going to 7, 3. How do I know this? Because A and C are points which have the swapped x and y coordinates, because 3 becomes a 7, 7 becomes a 3. They pretty much swapped around from A to C. Therefore, we know that the gradient is minus 1. So if we add 1 to the x value, that means we subtract 1 to the y value. So we get 4, 6, 5, 5, and 6, 4, which is the B value, since it's closer to C than A. This is the only correct answer. Question 10, here are some number cards. Write the two numbers with a total of 0. Of course, it's going to be 28 and minus 28. So if we add them together, it's the same as 28 minus 28 is 0. Write the two numbers with a total of negative 100. Of course, this is going to be 28 and minus 128. Because minus 128 can be written as minus 100 minus 28. And then because we're adding 28, so these two will cancel to make 0. We get minus 100, which we need. That's our answer. Question 11. Drawing on all the numbers that are equivalent to 1.5. This can be written as 3 by 2. And let's check all the numbers now. So 6 by 4. You multiply 3 by 2 times 2 on both sides. We get 6 by 4. So this is equivalent. Now 4 by 6. That's equal to 2 by 3. Not equivalent to 3 by 2. 10 by 15 is the same case. It's 2 by 3. 15 by 10 is equal to 3 by 2 because we divide both sides by 5 in this one, and same for this fraction here. Therefore, we'll get 3 by 2, and this is the same. 1 4 by 8. Now 4 by 8 is equal to half, dividing both sides by 4. And 1 4 by 8 is simply 1.5, which is correct. And as for 1 3 by 8, this cannot be simplified further, but then it's not equal to this. Therefore, it's not equal to 1.5. That's our answer. Question 12. Here are square and pentagon. Take all the statements that are true. Both shapes are polygons. Yes, of course that's true, because they are closed shapes. We can see that there's no openings in them, and they have all straight lines. Both shapes have right angles. Well, this is false. A square has right angle, but a pentagon with equal side lengths does not have right angle. As you can see visually, these are not right angles. Both shapes have parallel sides. This is not true, since yes, a square has parallel sides here and here. But what about a pentagon? It doesn't have any parallel sides, so this is wrong. Both shapes are regular. Well, a square obviously has all its sides equal. That means it is a regular polygon. What about the pentagon? It's given that all side lengths are 2 centimeters. Therefore, it is a regular polygon. All sides are equal in length. So this is correct. That's our answer. Question 13. There are 20 fruit trees in a garden. 2/5 are apple trees, the others are pear trees. How many pear trees are there? So 2/5 of the trees are apple trees. That means 2/5 times 20. That's the number of apple trees. 8 apple trees. And how many pear trees is going to be 20 minus 8? So that's going to be equal to 12 pear trees. That's our answer. Question 14. Rabbits take part in a high jump competition. Here are the results. We have 9 different rabbits and each have the high jump results recorded. What is the mode of the heights jumped? First, let's arrange all of these in ascending order. So we have 60, 65, 75, and then 2 80s. And then we have 3 85s. 1, 2, 3. And finally, we have a 90. So we got all the numbers, and this is just ascending order in this direction. I'll just write that. And now, which is the mode? That means the highest repeated, the one which is repeated the most. In this case, 85 is repeated 3 times. Let me just box that real quick. 85 is repeated 3 times, and nothing else is repeated 3 times. 80 is repeated twice, but nothing else is repeated 3 times. Therefore, the answer for the mode is 85 centimeters. Question 15. A proportion of this shape is shaded. Write a number to complete the sentence. 2 in every dash squares are shaded. So we can see that out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 squares, therefore shaded. So that's simply 4 by 10 of all the squares are shaded. And we can simplify this to 2 by 5. And this expressed in notation verbally is going to be 2 in every 5 squares are shaded. Since 2 by 5 simply means 2 out of 5, or 2 in every 5. So answer is 5. Let's go to question 16. Translate the shaded shape 3 squares to the right. Draw a shape in its new position. So let's just take one of the corners and translate 3 squares to the right. That's 1, 2, 3. So over here we have 3, and we can just use a similar one for all the 5 points. 1, 2, 3 for this point, we go here, and then for this point we go 1, 2, 3. This point or vertex we can say 1, 2, 3. This vertex 1, 2, 3, and the final one goes over here. This one 1, 2, 3 to the right. And now we can draw the shape in our new position. That's our answer. Let's go to question 17. Star represents a number. Star plus 2 plus 2 stars equals 14. Calculate the value of star. So we can say that 3 stars, when we add of them up, we'll get 3 times the value star. So 3 star plus 2 equals 14. That means we simply subtract 2 from both sides to get 3 star equals 12. And that means star is going to be 12 by 3, which is 4. That's our answer. If you want to check if this is correct or not, just substitute the value star equals 4 into this equation. 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4 is indeed equal to 14. That's correct.